That was fucked up. They've still kept pretty tight about what happened. They're like, something happened.
Well, I kept seeing, and I think it finally came out in like New York Daily News or somebody had it out, but I saw it on TikTok. Some guy said that his friend worked at Facebook, and he was telling him that they couldn't get in with their security codes and stuff like that. They were like the employees were like locked out; they couldn't get in, and it was just a big mess over there, man. A complete mess.
It feels like an inside job.
Oh God, it had to have been somebody somewhere in the inside. On the inside.
That wasn't that on the 5150 album?
That's
what's going down. One thing I've learned from these guys, I must confess, it's not how you feel, it's how you dress, or something like that. I can't remember. I had that cassette, obviously.
Obviously. Actually, fun fact, 5150 was the first CD I ever bought.
I was so late to the game. I didn't buy a CD till like 89. I didn't have a CD player until like 89.
Dude, I understand.
I think Bedtime Stories from David Bearwald was maybe the first one I ever got, which was weird, but really, it was a very good album. If you ever listen to it, it's really good.
Yeah, I believe you. I'm trying to think. I guess I got mine it was like late 86 or 87. I can't remember.
The CD Revolution. Okay, so you can share if you need to or want to or have to. It's right there. Everything's there. We're going to talk wrestling.
Like it or not.
Yeah, kids.
God damn it.
I have to say I was very disappointed because the new Arn show on fucking Conrad shit, right?
Yeah.
It was recorded before he became the hottest thing in wrestling.
Gunslinger? It was recorded before that shit?
I mean, Conrad has legit the hottest property in wrestling right now, and they're doing just like there's no. I want to call him Arnie Glock is what I want to call him. I like Arnie Glock. Arnie.
That's very Scottish.
Which one is your favorite one of the memes? Because I like the one where he's scanning his forehead with the temperature thing. I think that's
something about it was a 4. I think I saw something about the 4 Horsemen, but I can't remember what it was. It was pretty funny.
The one with and James Good was throwing me all these things. The one where he's handing him Starbucks and he's got the Starbucks thing on. God damn, there's some funny shit on there.
I really hadn't. Yeah, there probably are a lot up there that I hadn't even seen.
I gotta see some. I gotta show you some of these because they're just like they're too fucking funny. God, they're just so yeah. It pisses me off because Conrad is an opportunistic human being and he usually, he jumps on opportunities like that. I'm like, well, we're gonna. And it was by the way, it was a really good episode because it's like I think it's 85 Crockett, so there's like some killer promos and shit, and the Dusty Rhodes war with the 4 Horsemen has really heated up.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think what else was he. Oh, like Baby Doll was getting involved in shit, and they're going after the 4 Horsemen. And Baby Doll comes up to Arn during a promo time with Bob Caudle, and he goes, and she just goes, "Hey, they told me to tell you you're next." What are you talking about? And he's doing all of his like He-Man woman hater shit, like women are meant to go in the bedroom and the kitchen and shit like that. Whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. And it was just like it was fantastic. It was like really good shit. But I'm like, Connie, you got the hottest property in fucking wrestling right now, and you're gonna. I can't believe that you're gonna like not capitalize on that. And by the way, every time the guy farts, you have a new T-shirt at boxofmydick.com or whatever it is that you got. Why are we not? Where's the T-shirts? Here's one of the memes. This is one of the funny memes right here. You like that one?
I haven't seen that one.
that's the Starbucks one. Again, for those of you that are listening, it's going to be tough, but I'm sure you may have seen this one. It's Arn Anderson.
The more I look at it,
the look on Cody's face is brilliant.
I know.
It's fucking brilliant. And this is another good one. This is a good one. Sign of the Times right there. He's checking him out. He's doing the temporal scan and he's got the mask on. Cody's got a mask on. And Lee's got the mask on and shit. And I don't know.
That's so funny.
Did you see Roads to the Top?
No, I didn't watch it.
It's pretty funny. That's you really need to watch it because
really. What was it? Seriously, it was funny. It was really funny.
No.
Okay.
It's interesting contextually. It's always, all these things are always interesting contextually. What do you think of the beard, by the way? I think we've gone from Abe Lincoln to Al Qaeda, just in the matter of not.
Well, is it a stage thing? Because my brother was kind of at that stage, and now he's like full on like Grizzly Adams almost.
I don't know. I always kind of chicken shit out here and kind of trim it back, and then I'm not sure. I don't know where we're going with this thing, but
here's the thing. Yeah, this is your threshold kind of thing.
Yeah,
where you at right now?
Yeah,
I say let it go. Let it go.
Got to. Well, you have to.
You got to. You're this far, dude. You got to let it go.
You can only power through it at this point. So
it's like my hair. You know, my hair is getting kind of.
Oh yeah, you're rocking right now.
But you know, I figure while it's still growing, while I still have it, let it go.
You're sort of between 87 metal bass player and 91 porn star. That's where you are right now.
I'm just missing the stash. That's pretty much it.
All you need. So I was interested in seeing Roads to the Top because I wanted to see.
Now, did they have a lot of guest stars appear like in there, like Orange Cassidy and stuff like that?
There's a ton of guest stars. Ricky Starks is on there. Ricky Starks has an injury. They talked to him. TK. Fucking TK. Let's talk Tony Khan. I sent you the blind item. I've sent it to a few people. There's a website called crazydaysandnights.net, and they do basically a lot of blind items for Hollywood types, music industry, TV, all that shit, and sports sometimes too, also politics. And they'll put up blind items and they won't name who it is, but then they'll go back in time after a period of weeks, maybe if the story is revealed or whatever, and they'll figure out what it is. And the blind item was on this one, Tony Khan will like fire. It was like this newly formed wrestling mogul will fire people if they say something about him and give him a raise if they say something good about him in the media. And then they revealed it, and it was Tony Khan of All Elite Wrestling. And so
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I'm kind of disappointed in that. I mean, I know we talked about him in point. You're really a pro at pointing out his flaws, and I just didn't really see that in him. That was one thing I really didn't see that he would do.
He's just, I think
he seemed a little fanboyish to me. I'm too fanboyish to be doing stuff like that.
He's very fanboyish. I think he's in over his head. I think.
Really? You think he's in over his head?
Way over his head. I think the Bucks and Cody, and I think that's what you're seeing right now is this power struggle where, Cody is on the outs and the Young Bucks are on the ends. And these vice presidents are going to push him around and play him like a fucking fiddle. That's what I think.
All right. Well, while we're on that subject too.
Yeah.
Do you think there's really like dissension going on there, or do you think this is all part of an almighty, I don't know, work?
It's a work, brother. No, I think there's actual heat in between who's going to control the promotion and who has Tony's ear at a given point and all that other shit. So so essentially, I mean, I thought he was Dixie Carter, but he's actually Vince McMahon. So
yeah.
I'm not denying any of the success they've had.
See, that's why it's disappointing to me.
Oh, that he's actually Vince McMahon?
Yes.
Well, good news. I don't think he's going to book any pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia. So he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
I don't believe there yet. That's funny.
Let's hold off.
So TK does make an appearance on the thing, and TK, I have to point this out for people who haven't been listening because I love to think that everybody listens to every minute of one of these things that we do. But
and if you're not, what the fuck?
Yeah, what's the problem? So when TK started a promotion, they would go, people like you and me and other people go, like, is this really his qualification? Is he's read Wrestling Observer for like 30 years? That's
well,
And they go, no. You don't understand. You don't understand. He's part of the executive
something
that's running an NFL fucking franchise, okay? And the NFL's a $2 billion fucking situation, and he's running a goddamn franchise. Okay. Bryant, How is the franchise that he is an executive in? How are they
Can we
doing?
talk about that franchise for just
Can we talk about
one half a
I'd like,
second?
I'd like to
Can we talk about the head coach particularly?
I'd like to
for
talk
like
about the franchise. Let's start with the franchise itself.
Okay.
How many games in a row has that franchise lost? How many regular season football games have they lost without a victory?
Gosh, I really don't know, but it's what, 7?
7. Try 19.
Oh,
19 consecutive times.
Was it that many? Wow.
It is the second.
I was trying to be nice.
It is the second longest streak in league history. Bryant, what is the number 1 streak in NFL history? Do you know?
I think that was the Buccaneers back in the day,
That would
be
right? the Buccaneers of the 1970s would be.
Yes. When their initial year.
Truly
or
dreadful.
2 or 3.
I know that there may be some young people who are like listening now and they're like, oh, the Buccaneers are great. They're like best team in football. My God, Tom Brady, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, there was a time when they were pitiful as fuck. Okay.
Yes,
they were very bad. So far this season, again, they signed Tim Tebow to own the libs. He lasted for 2 weeks as a tight end. They had to cut him. And again, they've lost every time they've taken the field. Heading to London this week to go lose a game in another continent because it just got boring being here in North America losing games. They're going to go over to London, which eventually may be their future home.
Can I just throw this name at you real fast?
Sure.
The London Jaguars. That's all I want to say.
The London Jaguars. I think there's not a great deal of love in the city of Jacksonville for the Khan family. I just don't think there's a great deal of love there. I think
really,
if they were like
among the city itself, or like the city, the people,
all of it, among the leadership,
everything,
among the people. I think there's like, I
imagine the city's a little fed up with the football part of it for sure.
I think. Well, you got to think there's like way more University of Georgia fans in Jacksonville than there are Jacksonville Jaguars fans, right?
You would think. Yikes. Right? Okay. Well,
shots fired.
Yeah.
But shit. I mean, if I'm lying, I'm flying, and my feet are on the ground, bro.
Well, they do get half that stadium filled in Jacksonville every time they play Florida there. So
that's exactly right. I mean, there's a huge number of. But here's the other. I mean, the other part of that is like if they said, okay, we're moving to London, there would be like, oh no. I mean, we don't want to lose our NFL franchise, but how NFL are they at this point? I mean, I'm not saying that the Jaguars. What is the best college football team? Is it Georgia or Alabama? I'm not saying that the Jaguars could not beat Georgia or Alabama. I'm not saying that at this point. They probably roll over them like 50-0. But they suck. They're terrible, and they don't have any way out. They've got a really great like generational quarterbacking prospect. But I don't think they can keep him off his ass long enough to throw a pass. That's problematic. So that's
not good.
And then we had this is the headline Bryant wanted to talk about. Urban Meyer opens up on stupid partying controversy. I should have left. This was after they finished losing Thursday night in overtime. In overtime, by the way, they lasted more than 60 minutes this time. Before the Cincinnati Bengals beat him, he went to a place that he owns in Columbus, started partying, and apparently there was a very young lady, easily old enough to be his daughter, gyrating suggestively in his crotchal area. Isn't that correct? In a viral video that was released all over the place?
Pretty much, yeah. He walks in all hee-haw, like, gloom, despair, agony on me. The next thing you know, he's got little blonde girls gyrating, like you said, on his knee. So
So he opens up about the partying controversy. I should have left. This is
he's such a sage.
Or as Three Dog Night once said, Bryant, what did they say?
Mama told me not to come.
Mama told me not to come. That ain't the way to have fun, son.
Son. Open up that window. Let some air into this room.
Let me look at the headline again from the New York Post. I should have left. No, motherfucker, you should have never have come. You shouldn't have even been there, you dumb shit.
I should have left.
Here's another funny one from Crazy Days and Nights. There was a very interesting one a few weeks ago about a certain NFL coach, and they were implying very heavily that he had faked health concerns to get out of jobs in the past. and that there may have been illicit affairs that have gone on even in Jacksonville. If it in fact is Urban Meyer, I want to cover myself. But the blind items seem to indicate that there was some hanky going on down in North Florida. I have long said, well, not long said, I've said for a couple of weeks now, I don't think he's going to last the season. I think he's going to be the next head coach at the University of Southern California. I don't think he wants to be in the NFL. I think 3 seconds in, he figured out, I am so far in over my head. In that first game, I think they had to call timeout twice, like because they couldn't get their shit together in the first half in the huddle. It was that team was not prepared to play in the first half, and I think he's making around $12 million a year. Because Gruden's making 10, and he was like, I got to make 12. I'm gonna need 12. Yes. So again, this is the NFL franchise that was the calling card where they go, all right, Tony, here's a wrestling franchise. You're so qualified to run it. So that's what's going on in Jacksonville right now.
I understand.
And despite all of it, Tony's had some initial success because he spent a lot of daddy's money. I mean, he's reeling out checks to Daniel Bryanson. He's I love
Daniel Bryanson.
I love that. And also he's got the CM Punk, and he's just writing checks. Oh yeah, this guy will add this guy, will add this guy. And he's got big time media contacts. He's got very excellent pay-per-views. I've shelled out my own money for some of the pay-per-views. I'm happy to do it. But yeah, I don't know that his management style is going to be particularly helpful as time goes on, because I still believe these people are going to push him all over the place.
So don't you think, though, all that being said, don't you think, though, that at some point, some of these guys, especially it's like some of the veterans, like the CM Punks and the Bryan Danielsons and stuff, don't you think that they would kind of see through his shit and maybe think about not signing? I mean,
No, they see through his shit and they say, I can manipulate this guy and make a lot of money. I can make a lot of fucking money.
Well, aren't they scared of getting shit on in some way?
I guess, but as long as they get the money, they don't care.
Okay, well, that's what I was afraid of.
This is a story from Sports Kviaa. Everyone abused their power. Conan speculates on backstage roles of AEW VPs. Recently reported that AEW's EVP roles had been scaled back, Bryant.
Yeah, I saw this.
Oh, this is an interesting report. We'll also go to Sports Kviaa for that story. The 4 EVPs of AEW have dramatically different roles to the ones they started with the company. They currently have 4 executive vice presidents. There have been a lot of changes in their roles when the company started in 2019. The biggest difference between 2019 and the current scenario is the creative process, according to Bodyslam.net. Cody Rhodes, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, and Kenny Omega started AEW with Tony Khan as the president of the company, and the 4 wrestlers took up backstage roles as EVPs alongside being full-time performers in the ring. We'll circle back to that on Roads to the Top, because that does come up as far as Brandy being a top executive. However, their creative role has been diminished significantly, as the report stated that the creative is Tony Khan's prerogative entirely, although wrestlers are allowed and encouraged to pitch ideas and come up with suggestions. All 4 EVPs have different focuses, according to the report. Cody was the last EVP to attend office meetings, but his creative input has decreased greatly, Bryant. Matt Jackson has been assisting his wife Dana with merchandise, while Nick Jackson is overlooking the Young Bucks YouTube vlog BTE. AEW World Champion Kenny Omega is the very hands-on with AEW games, as the console game prepares for launch, and the AEW General Manager game is already out. The Best Bout Machine also plays a key role in putting together matches for the women's division, and he bangs a lot of the women perform. No, it doesn't say that at all.
So what?
It was recently reported, that Tony Khan had been asserting complete control. Conan recalled on Keeping It 100 the exploding barbed wire match not going according to plan, and Tony Khan telling him that he was mad about giving the finish to someone else. Conan also believed that some had abused their power. This is what I'm thinking, that kind of everyone abused their power, sneaking in their friends, sneaking in their own little agendas, and maybe he got tired of it. And he said, fuck this, I'm taking over. Because the other day, I can't get into what storyline it is yet because it's about to happen, Conan said. Conan said Tony Khan sent a storyline to him for his opinion, and they've had their differences in the past. He sent me a storyline that was very well done, and he goes, what do you think about this? And I said, I like it, Conan continued. You know what I'm saying? He says, all right, we'll do it together. So I think he just feels more comfortable being hands-on, because I think he knows he's going to do what's best for business. and where everybody else is hooking up their friends, they're doing what they want. That's what I'm thinking. No, they're still hooking up their friends. How did Daniel Garcia land on my television? Because Pepper Parks trained him. That's Butcher. Again, I feel like Mr. Potter and It's a Wonderful Life. You shoot pool with one of the guys on the executive committee, you can get a job down there at AEW. That's basically what's going on, right?
Well, yeah, but didn't he see this coming though? I mean, that's what it might just go back to what we're just talking about with Tony Khan and not being qualified. Didn't he? You know, I think everybody else saw that this was going to happen at some point in time, right?
He's a young guy. He's got a lot of money. He's been rich for a while. I don't know if he really knows how to deal with all the attention that he's getting, and I don't know if he knows how to deal with all the flattery of all those people. And he wants to be the friends of the Young Bucks, and he wants to be the friends of Cody, and he wants to keep Dave Meltzer happy, and he wants to keep everybody happy. And you can't do that if you're going to run a wrestling promotion or really any company. There's going to be a couple of unhappy people.
Right. Well, I mean, you can do that, but and not turn into VKM at the same time. You don't have to. That's true. You know,
it's accurate.
There's a happy medium there somewhere.
But I think these guys are still walking all over this sumbitch, and I think the Jacksons are the ones that are the main culprits.
You think?
Honestly, I think so. I think.
Why do you think that? Just because an observation?
It just feels like they're like, you need to listen to us. Cody's kind of over here. We'll push him off to the side. And it feels like Omega's trying to worm in, but it feels also like maybe Don Callis is trying to manipulate him in some way, shape, or form, and kind of advising him on this is the best way to get to Tony. This is the best way to kind of get him to do what you want to do. And maybe Omega doesn't want to play the political game, but there's no agnostics in this thing. Not at this point.
Well,
that's the behind the scenes
kind of
thing.
That's just a storm of brewing, man.
Yeah, without question. And that's going to be the storm. I mean, that's going to be to watch in the coming months as they switch over to TBS next year and continue to do all this stuff and have, a lot of these free agents. It does look like, I guess, Bray Wyatt's going to be with Impact. Is that what I'm reading?
I don't know. I really hadn't seen much on that lately.
That's what I was hearing. Let me see what the latest from the dirt sheet says, because I love calling them the dirt sheets. I'm an insider. Well, Bleacher Report saying former WWE star Bray Wyatt and Impact are not close to a contract amid rumors. That's a rumor killer right there, pal.
Okay. That to me, here's the thing, man. I don't know what to think about that, but about Bray Wyatt, because you got Impact, which is, I mean, I know AEW has been trying to give them a little boost over the last few months and with their interactions and stuff. I don't know if it's helped. I really haven't looked at the numbers.
I don't think it has. There's no.
I was going to say I can't. I don't. It may. I don't. Yeah. So I can't believe Bray Wyatt would go with them, but at the same time, like you're just talking, you can't just be writing checks out to every fucking body that gets dumped by WWE and everything. So I can't imagine him going there either, really. So I guess,
what if they?
I guess one's about as plausible as the other.
What about if they open the forbidden door? What about that? What about? I'm tired of hearing about that too. By the way, let us open the forbidden door. I'm really sick of hearing all that shit, right?
Yes.
I can wrestle in New Japan. I can wrestle in GCW. I can wrestle in Impact. I can wrestle with MLW. Make sure your own promotion is like good before you start doing other shit, okay? How about that? Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting here thinking about it now, and I think I still would be more shocked if he went to Impact than in AEW.
So, Roads to the Top. They're going through a bunch of stuff with Brandy's pregnancy, and she's she does look adorable with that pregnancy weight on her. I got to be honest with you, with a little full face and everything like that.
Oh, I know she does.
It's amazing.
It's very huggable.
Fantastic pregnant. She's very well spoken, but I don't know. There's a certain insincerity or ingenuity with her, and kind of a coldness when she speaks on camera. I'd be interested to see if you also pick up on it or think I'm full of shit on that.
Well, I kind of think that anyway. Just from
yeah,
and granted, a lot of times I've seen her in like in character quotation marks and stuff. So it's hard to. I think it's hard to. When we were talking about this one time not too long ago about some of these people, and she's one of them. You don't really know where to draw the line between character and how she really is, because her character kind of comes off of what she seems to me like she'd really be.
She's kind of a natural. She feels like a natural heel.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to hate her naturally because she's so good looking, and they're not going to like her at all because of that. So we get to meet her parents. I think maybe the star of the show for me was Cody's sister, Margaret, who's you've seen her on Twitter and stuff.
No, I haven't seen her.
They're kind of setting her up as the Southern Belle from Hell, I think, on
like a wild child kind of.
And she's always kind of a fly in the ointment. We always got to figure out what she's doing, and she's like, we got to figure out and we got to make Margaret happy. They have a baby shower for Brandy, and everybody's invited, and Cody's mom is just the sweetest thing ever, and I don't think she's going to play much of a part on the show other than kind of show up from time to time. And then they go through this thing where Brandy goes, well, when I first started dating and with Cody and we first got married and I was wrestling, I started using the name Rhodes, and Margaret sends me this text the size of fucking War and Peace about why that was inappropriate and her father had worked so hard to establish it and she shouldn't use the word Rhodes. And Brandy insists that Dusty, before he died, said it was okay for her to use the name Rhodes and shit like that. So it's that kind of a situation. And then, Margaret's kind of getting maybe a little tipsy at the thing. And Brandy's parents are like, Brandy's like, well, we're going to have like a sleep assistant for the baby. It's going to figure out the sleep patterns. We'll get that baby sleeping from like 9 at night to like 7 in the morning. And everybody else is like, you're full of shit. That's not how babies work, like at all.
Good luck.
And they're like, you don't need no sleep technician. Brandy's parents are like, we can be the sleep technicians. Like, oh shit, this is bad. This is really not good. So there's that. Why do you think Cody is being booed at All Elite Wrestling events? And why do you think that Arn turned on him? Why do you think Cody is being booed?
I think it has to do with what we're just talking about, man. I think it has to do with this the whole EVP thing and the whole now that the roads to the top thing, just kind of the overexposure kind of deal.
Yeah, that stupid game show he's on where he gets Rosario Dawson. I think I don't know.
And I'll tell you what, man, that whole leaving his boots in the ring thing, that was kind of stupid. That was dumb.
That situation?
It just didn't make sense.
It's very odd because you can go from liking Cody, thinking he's a babyface, to you wouldn't be shit without your old man like that. I mean, if it wasn't for your old man and his name, you wouldn't be a shit in this business, and you haven't done shit in this business except coast off his name.
Man, which I know is something
that's something that Dustin has dealt with for a number of years. And then
he
he developed his own character, which was, of his own volition, and did very, very well with it and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, you just got to kind of go with, if they want to boo him, you got to turn him heel, I think. Right.
Yeah. Well, you got to. And I think they picked up on it. That's why Arn, I think that's why Arn did what he did, because they played off the fans booing him.
But does that make Arn a babyface now?
They had to know that it would, saying what he said.
Putting a Glock and spilling people's guts all over the pavement, all over the cement.
Dude, people ate that shit up. They should have known that. I mean, I hope they weren't going for the heel role for him on that.
It's like the hottest meme thing ever since the RKO's out of nowhere. It's like all over the place. It's hot as shit. I mean, I can't say otherwise, but it's the whole Cody situation with his character on screen right now on AEW Wrestling is a big problem. It's a big problem. If you do put him over to the heel side, how are we starting to get too many heels? You can't do anything heel wise with Punk or Daniel Bryanson right now. You can't. It's just not. Their fans will not ever boo them at this point. At some point, you can turn them heel, but not right now. And I think
not right now. That'd be stupid.
The Cody approach right now would be just to hate on the fans and say, look, I've heard all the shit you said about I wouldn't be shit without my dad. Well, let me just tell you, my dad would have hated every one of you pieces of shit. And you can say pieces of shit on TNT.
Yeah, they say shit tonight on Raw, man.
It was just crazy. Things are getting nuts. So, yeah, I think that's the tack Cody should. My dad would have been embarrassed to say that this business has become what it is with fans like you assholes. And just
if that's the case, then all 4 of those guys would be heels then right now.
Well, it's problematic because the Bucks are already heels.
And Omega's a heel.
Omega's already a heel, so they're all heels, but they can't be in the same kind of faction, right? They can't be in the same faction right now because they already got, like, Adam Cole is kind of the role that Cody would be in that little faction, right?
Right.
Would you ever?
Hey, that would be a good angle, man.
What's that? Like, Cole got the spot that I should have gotten.
Yeah, and I like have a double switch, double turn between Cole and Cody. That'd be great.
Who's this motherfucker? I don't even know who this guy is. You guys just bring him in off the bat. I don't understand what's going on with that guy. Wow.
This fucker was in ROH 3 years ago.
This guy was nothing. I know
he wasn't 3 years ago.
I've flushed turds bigger than you, Adam Cole. Baby. And then he goes after him or something like that. I'm not really sure.
That's a good idea, man. I like that.
I have lots of great booking ideas. Follow me on Instagram, BW for Reels, where I don't really I put them out here on our podcast, which is Katie Vick is Alive. That's all my good booking ideas. So Roads to the Top, they do the couch interviews talking about when the baby's coming and talking about how busy they are. Oh, they're the busiest people, Bryant. Oh my God.
I can imagine.
Their schedules are just
only
nuts.
Imagine.
Oh my God. Their schedules are just crazy. And Brandy is a vice president of this company. She's like the only female black vice president ever in the history of wrestling. So Jade Cargill is having a little bit of a problem, I think, with Velvet. Is that what her name is?
Velvet, yeah.
So because she slapped her one time, so Brandy has to broker a lunch with them where they have to like talk about their issues and shit. It's really very natural and not contrived at all.
I'm sure.
It looks completely unscripted and the kind of the behind the scenes stuff that wrestling fans like us want to know about.
No, we don't.
At the end of the day, they settle their issues and they're going to work together and be just fine. So that's good.
See, I wish they wouldn't throw that shit in there. If you're going to do a behind the scenes thing, with them, with the marriage and the whole reality show thing, that's reality, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't throw in the damn.
They do that stuff.
Storyline shit. Don't.
Oh, and they had their little sit down. Brandy is developing a line of wine. So she wanted them to taste and since she's like,
God dang, Rob Halford from Judas Priest is doing, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but Rob Halford also isn't like fucking 8.5 months pregnant when they're doing this wine tasting that she can't.
Okay, wine tasting. Okay, I'm sorry.
She can't. Why would you can't drink the wine? I'm gonna have my friends here. Just drink that and describe it to me, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go for your decision. We'll say yes, we want to make that bottle of wine. Yes, put that on the shelves. Oh, this tastes like cherry stems mixed with pine cones. Perfect. Book it. Put it on the shelves because I can't taste it. I mean, and hear me out, we could wait until this thing gets out of my body and then I can drink some wine like a month from now. No, we need it for the show. Got to have it for the show. Now. Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It was bizarre. It was odd. You'll like it. You'll think it's funny.
I'm sure.
I think you'll also be annoyed by it. By the way, I was watching there's a new Jake Gyllenhaal movie on Netflix.
Yay!
He plays a 911 dispatcher.
Oh no!
And some people know this. I've been doing this for like about 3.5 years now, doing the same job. And I went into it going, I'm not going to shit on this thing because I know it's not going to be like what we do. I know because if they made a movie about what we do and it was realistic, it would be boring and people would be like, this sucks. So I'm okay with it not, but at the end it becomes like fairly comical. I mean, the shit that he's able to. First of all, one of the things that happens, like I'm giving it an open mind. The first 5 minutes, he's talking to somebody who's overdosing. And the guy's on speed. He goes, and Gyllenhaal goes, "Well, you did this to yourself." So let me just say this: You can't say that as a 911 operator. You can't, if somebody is overdosing and they've called in for help, you can't go, well, you did it to yourself, pal. You can't do that. I was telling my girlfriend there's like three realistic things, and you'll be able to relate to one of them. At the call center, at some of them, not ours, when you are taking a call, a red light goes up over your workstation. That happens in this movie. That's realistic. That does happen. The second one was, it's very hard to get in touch with the highway patrol, whatever state it is. I don't care if it's Kansas or if it's Maryland or where it is. And he's in California during a wildfire. And it's like, come on, pick up. And then there was like a third thing that was realistic, but it was like a technical thing. And that was about it. That was it. Like the only thing. He's like, it's the greatest thing. You would think there's going to be some people that watch this go, geez, I need to get in this line of work, because you can just call people, order officers around, go out and go here and go there. And then you tell him, and then that's you do. And you can't, he's like ordering 5 agencies around and you can't do it. It's not possible. So at the end, it's probably, I'm trying to think of a worse thing that Gyllenhaal's been in. He's still really good in the movie. He's very good in the movie. And there's a twist at the end of it. And if you're not a 911 dispatcher, if you don't have any, history with public safety or anything, you might enjoy it, but it's some of the shit's fairly comical. Cause he's like cussing at his supervisor and stuff. And he's telling the officer, just get the fucking car over there. And that doesn't happen. That never happens over there. You never yell at a sergeant or a lieutenant, just get the fucking car over there now and kick the door in. He's telling the guy to kick the door in. It doesn't, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. I'm trying to think of a worse movie that he was in. I can't think of one offhand, but he was good in it. And it's one of those movies where it just takes like in the course of a day. They boil it down to like a day's work. Really, it might be even in real time. But yeah, I mean, he's been so good in so many movies. Like I loved him in Brokeback. I loved him in Nightcrawler. I loved him in Zodiac. But I can't think of a worse movie that he's been in offhand, off the top of my head. It's called The Guilty. It's a remake of a Danish film or something, and it's on Netflix right now.
Oh, okay.
WWE draft. I think we're done. I don't know if there's more stuff to go. Is there more stuff to go?
Very quick little. I heard Corey say at the very end, right? I mean, literally the last line that was said before it went dark was more drafts at Raw, whatever the little show they have on stream. They stream after the show. He goes, more drafts on that. So apparently whoever's left, they're drafting on that place.
I don't understand that. And they're doing draft picks on the bump and shit like that. And I'm like, I know you're trying to pump up those audiences, but if this is going to be a big deal, you don't do it on your junior varsity shows on your
right.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Hey, how do you think
what's happened to Asuka? Is she done? I
have no idea. I mean, she may be getting ready to head to Omega Land. Huh? She may be ready to sleep with Kenny Omega very, very soon. He's rubbing his hands together and shit. Hey, you want to see my video game console? So cool. How do you think they felt about Goldberg talking about murdering Bobby Lashley about 5 times?
He just won't shut up about murdering him, man. That's what he was talking about last week. Murdering him, and he's hanging him, and
here's Vince. Here's Vince
choking him, and here's Vince breaking his neck, and God dang.
Here's Vince at the gorilla position. Listen to this. All right, that's good. One homicide there. God damn, don't say it again. Oh shit, he said it again. God damn, he's gonna leave his kids orphan. Cut. Oh, we're live. Shit. And I love, like, they go over to Corey Graves trying to pump up. Yeah, man, this should be a great matchup. Crown Jewel. Speaking of murder, well, that Saudi Arabian family, they know how to murder people, don't they? Huh? They're pretty good at that.
Hey.
I'm thinking they're maybe even better than Bill Goldberg at murdering people. Maybe back to you. Oh, jeez. That was uncomfortable. Okay, you're gonna be dead. Okay, he's dead. And your children will not have their father because you're gonna be deceived. I'm like, fuck, dude. Seriously. God damn. Even like even an ECW, like when they would murder somebody, they wouldn't murder them 5 times in one promo. Fuck, dude.
Shit.
I'm going to take your body, bury it, and then undig you, and then fuck you in the ass, and then pour you back in, and then I'm going to take you out again. And I'm gonna chop you up, and then I'm gonna put you back in the ground and pour concrete on you, and then I'm gonna have some Ben and Jerry's. All right, Crown Jewel coming up October 22nd. Only on the Goldberg. Everybody's in the crowd's like, what the fuck? Am I cheering? Am I cheering for the murdering guy?
Who am I cheering for? John Wayne Gacy? Who is this?
I'll do my Norm Macdonald as a salute to Norm. We're cheering for the homicidal maniac. Is that what we're doing? I'm not sure there.
Norm.
October 22nd at Crown Jewel.
It's a Thursday, everybody.
I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I'm working, so I
won't it be during the day? Won't it be at the?
It was like at 4 a.m. or something. I thought last time.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I thought it was. I thought it was like 4 or 5 in the morning or some shit. I can't remember. Crown.
Okay, maybe it was. Well, I guess I won't be watching it live either.
Well, they're very precise about when they have pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia when they murder journalists. They want to make sure that they have a very kind of
a promptness and stuff about it. Yeah.
You got to keep your consistency. There's always a thing that you have to. From the King Fahd International Stadium, it says. I don't know if we got a time. Oh, wait a minute.
Is that the same place they always go?
I don't know, because they kept saying Jakarta last time because they didn't want to say Saudi Arabia, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Because they were trying so hard not to say the word Saudi followed by the word Arabia, right?
Right.
They were trying to figure out because that's bad. We can't. But now it's like fuck it. It's highly controversial. Oh, it doesn't say when it's supposed to start. Oh well.
But it is AEW. I was just thinking AEW ought to like top them and like go put on a show in the Gaza Strip.
Well, if you want to be a real dick about it and have some balls about the whole situation, it's the Jamal Khashoggi like memorial show or something like that. Because they're tremendously good at exploiting dead people. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck what you say. They're exploiting the shit out of this Brody Lee thing. I know you're laughing right now because you knew I was going to say it, but god damn it, they are fucking exploiting the shit out of this guy's death. We get it. He died. You're saying, okay, and his kid is part of the family, and his wife is part of the family. Oh, look, there they are. We're in Rochester. Oh, no, she's going to save the Dark Order. Speaking of death, I wish the Dark Order would die. I wish Bill Goldberg would fucking sodomize the Dark Order and bury those motherfuckers.
Can that happen? Can we book that?
I don't mean to be like Mr. Contrarian, but goddamn, I don't even understand what the John Huber Foundation is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be some sort of financial assistance for people who are in wrestling or something. I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb and say people with the best of intentions, that foundation ain't going to do jack shit. I'm just going to say,
damn, okay.
I'm just going to say that foundation is formed to make everybody feel good. They'll have a few people grab some salaries off of it. And 2 years from now, they'll just politely fold it. Or they'll have like one success story. They'll bore you the fuck out of that thing. Well, I never would have made it without the John Huber Foundation.
Damn, man.
Sorry, I got to cut a promo on these people. They have exploited the fuck out of this Brody Lee situation. And they've done it now for 9.5 months. They've been doing this whole thing, just parading this shit around like they somehow own this guy's images. And don't you dare criticize us. Don't you dare. Because we're still in mourning and we love Brody Lee so much. We're just going to continue to use his name and his image all over the place. Don't say anything bad about it. And then we're going to bring his wife out. We got his kid over there doing some more spots and shit. So don't you think that we're exploiting this situation because we're back in Rochester. We would have been in Rochester anyway, but did you know that it happened to be his hometown? And by the way, did you see what they did? They went to a petting zoo or something in Rochester. Like Cody and the guys went out to a petting zoo.
No.
In honor of I'd say you cross a line with fucking exploitation at some point. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. I mean, I know it was a tragic death, and I know that he left young children in his wake and shit, but to have her out there in an angle like, oh God, no, Dark Order, you have to pull it together. No, you don't have to pull it together. The Dark Order needs to fucking die. Colt Cabana needs to go over to McDonald's and make $20 an hour or whatever he's doing because he's doing shit. He's riding the gravy train as hard as anybody. And I wish one time backstage at an event, CM Punk would just wander upon him and just slap the shit out of him. I wish that could happen. I mean, really, honest to God, if that promotion wants to give me one backstage gift, have him slap the shit out of Colt Cabana. How could we not have
nice? And have somebody film it. That'd be great.
So clearly you agree with me that they're exploiting the death of Brian.
Well,
you may not be as hardcore.
I don't know,
you may not be as hardcore about it as I am.
Well, no, I'm not. But I don't know. You may be absolutely right. I don't know. I don't know. I just can't go that far with it. All right. I don't know.
Does it make you uncomfortable at all?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, because they've already started the every week saying it's Wednesday night. You know what that means. And that was a Brody Lee thing.
Well, there you go.
You know,
that's kind of that's a decent salute to him or something, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Just do that.
Just do that. Every week. Well, not even every week. Twice a week, because they say it on Friday nights too.
Right. Apparently, Crown Jewel is going to be in Riyadh.
Oh, the cap.
Let me think. Who was that big the general during the first Gulf War?
Oh yeah,
the fat guy.
Yeah, the big kind of the big square jaw and Schwarzkopf. Yeah.
Okay. So I my former father-in-law was a general in the Army, and he was actually fought in the first Gulf War. Didn't have a lot of good things to say about Schwarzkopf. He basically said that fat ass was eating room service and like sleeping in the middle of the night over in the hotels and those luxury hotels in fucking Riyadh. They had to wake him up and tell him, oh yeah, by the way, we just won. We just beat his ass and drove him out of Kuwait. So go back to sleep and order some eggs Benedict, you fuck. And then, so that's essentially what happened.
Wow. Never knew.
He got in a little trouble for that because he reviewed the book and he essentially called it fiction, and some people in the military called him and said, no, that's not a great idea. That's not what you could have done.
Wow.
Back to the draft. Night 2 picks. Raw gets SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch, the almighty Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins. He will be staying with his wife on Raw.
Well, yeah. God dang, man. Do they just go shopping together and get these wild ass shit to wear to the ring just so you can outdo each other?
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find you the most outrageous. You'll never wear this. There's no way. They're going to go to like Goodwill stores and shit like that. And like, you'll never wear this. This is some shit that Minnie Pearl wouldn't even put on. He's like, fuck that. Hold my beer.
Hold my beer, motherfucker.
Nobody knows. I don't know what this character is, and I haven't seen the whole sit down with Seth Rollins with Steve Austin, but I know they come to one thing where he's talking to him about Jim Cornette and ROH, because Cornette talked him out of signing a contract with TNA, and he's like, Austin's like, God damn, I love Jim Cornette. Yeah, tell me something about him. And Rollins goes, well, there's a tiny smidge of heat about some of the stuff he said about Becky when she got knocked up. So, God damn, that's crazy. I love Jim Cornette. That son of a bitch can cut a promo. he says, yeah, a little bit of
crazy
heat
there. Jim.
Yeah, rattlesnake. A little bit of heat there about his wife, about my wife, and some of the shit he said about me impregnating her and stuff. But yeah, I like Jim. A little heat there. U.S. champion Damian Priest on Raw. AJ Styles and Omos.
What you think about that Jeff Hardy thing at the end with Austin Theory?
First of all, Austin Theory gets like no pop at all, right? He gets like zero pop when he comes in. Hey, it's Austin Theory, right? The crowd's like crickets. And he does his little babyface thing, and then it felt like Vince Russo booking to me, right? It's like, oh, swerve, right? That's what it felt like.
Oh yeah, it was so obvious.
It's like, super swerve. It's go. So I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. It was kind of stupid, but it's on the Raw scale, on the grading curve. Raw, it was about a 5 in terms of the stupidity that we've seen from Lily.
Let's be honest, Nashville is a pretty dead crowd. You know,
Nashville is where Katie Vick happened.
It left its mark, apparently.
We salute you, Nashville, for being that. Remember when they showed the video, the crowd was like, "Oh no!" And I think like Terry Runnels was supposed to do a backstage, and they were like, we're going to commercial. Go ahead, just go to commercial."
Yeah.
So like if you're Meineke or somebody, and you like got your commercial right next to somebody sodomizing a corpse, you're like, I'm
Meineke.
Can I get some bonus spots for that shit? Because I don't. It turns out we don't have a lot of people that really are into the whole like necrophilia thing. So if I could just get with my account executive, so we can just go ahead and get that shored up pretty good. Yeah, as it turns out. KO is on Raw. The Street Profits.
Oh my God.
Finn Balor, Karrion Kross, Alexa Bliss will be staying on Raw. However, Lily has been drafted to SmackDown.
Damn.
Carmella and then Gable Steveson, as you point out, who signed one of those name, image, and likeness deals. Somehow, I don't know how he did it, but he's got Major League Hollywood representation, possibly through Nick Khan's old agency at CAA. And he's got one of those name, imaging, and licensing deals, just like that quarterback at Alabama and all the great ones. You know,
it's like that. We caught Gable and his family at home when he was announced when he was drafted.
How fucking lucky are we just to get that shot?
They were so stunned.
And now the big storyline, of course, was like if the Usos weren't going to be drafted to SmackDown, I believe, wasn't Roman Reigns going to murder Paul Heyman? Wasn't that what was going to happen?
Said. I believe there's a lot of murdering going on last couple of weeks.
with Goldberg, some Jew-on-Jew violence. He's going to get in there and rip him apart, put him in the wood chipper. That's pretty good. Where they drafted the Usos and they look at Paul Heyman backstage and he's like going up to heaven like, thank you. But supposedly Paul Heyman had connections that was going to allow that to happen. So I don't know who he was exactly thanking. Maybe Vince is the big man upstairs for Paul Heyman.
I guess so. That must be what it was.
Sasha Banks is going to be on Friday Night SmackDown. Shinsuke Nakamura with the great Rick Boogs is going to be on SmackDown. Sheamus, who needs a reboot and probably could do okay with that. He's probably going to benefit from heading to SmackDown as well as Shayna Baszler.
I would think so.
Xia Li, the Viking Raiders. Ricochet, boy, you talk about a guy who's looking for a comeback on Friday nights. That would be that dude right there.
It'd be nice.
Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Cesaro, Friday nights. Ridge Holland, who I'm not familiar with, and Sami Zayn.
He's an NXT guy.
He's another NXT guy? Okay.
I was
happy. I was happy for Aaliyah coming up to the main roster. Because she worked really hard for it. But again, I think she's one of those. She could be fired within 6 months. Like if they can't get some traction with her fairly quickly, I don't see a lot of hope for her up there.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be. When was she picked? I missed this.
That may have been on one of those on the bump over the weekend.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. They took her.
Wow.
Maybe even Saturday. Yeah. She's going to be on the main roster, and I'm not sure if she's going to be on Mondays or on Fridays, but she's coming.
Wow. I had no idea.
After working a bunch of different gimmicks and seeing a lot of girls pass her by, she is finally going up there.
You didn't see Dakota Kai on there anywhere, did you?
I did not see Dakota Kai, and I'm now being informed by the internet that Aaliyah will be on Friday night SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
Friday nights, you'll be seeing her on the Fox television network, Dakota Kai. Let's take a look. Any news about Dakota Kai? No, there's nothing definitive. Just this from Give Me Sport that Xia Li and Aaliyah and Dakota Kai were all set for major roster call-ups. That she was expected, but again, I haven't seen anything.
Maybe Dakota will be picked in that thing they're doing post-Raw tonight.
Possibly, that might be a thing that's happening. It might even be as we speak here. So I'm hoping for. I think that Drew McIntyre is probably going to get a benefit from going to Friday nights. I think that's going to be a
McIntyre and Reigns, man, that'd be awesome.
I think that the two of them going head to head will be good. Drew needs a little bit of a reboot, as I talk about. Certainly Ricochet. God, it's just hard to imagine, as hot as that guy was just a couple of years ago, how they cooled him down and made him into a jag in no time flat.
For no reason. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Look at what they've done with Mustafa Ali. I mean, he was hot as balls for a half second. They had him, and they were really playing up his law enforcement background, and then he was part of that shitty faction that lasted whatever. I can't even, damage. What were they called? Was that what they were called?
Redemption or something. I don't know.
They were terrible, and then now he's getting this reluctant tag team with that other guy now, and I don't even know what's going on with that guy.
Yeah, I don't either. That's becoming a mess.
Creative just swerved him all over the fucking road. You know?
I thought that was coming along pretty well back when he was doing his cop background thing. You know, I thought that was something to play on. But
I watched the documentary. They did a great job with him, and he was talking about his time as a cop, and I was like really relating to it because apparently in Chicago they have the same 10 code for a weapon as we do. It was a 1032 because he's talking about a guy with a gun coming at him and stuff, and I was like, well, this is pretty intense. And then they petered out on that, and they started whatever that faction was, and that thing sucked the balls, and then I don't know.
And here we are with Mansoor.
They don't want to be together. They're the reluctant tag team, which is always good.
For some weird reason. I don't know. Yeah.
Meltzer writes, the football game tonight is Vegas Raiders against the Chargers. Should not be as big as last week. I don't know. Pretty big. Fairly big. Kind of big. Maybe not as big because the Packers were on and all that stuff.
Still, I don't know. Raiders still have a following.
They had more fans. They probably had as many fans in that stadium as the Chargers did.
Many fans. Yes.
Because I kept thinking the Raiders were down 21-0 at the half, and I just remember going back again to my childhood. Maybe the first Monday night game they ever played in L.A. in the Coliseum. They were down 21 or 28-0, and I think it might have been to the Chargers that came back and won that game on Monday night. That's back when the Raiders were just untouchable on Monday night. Mm-hmm. In the 70s, in the 1970s, they were 9-1-1 on Monday Night Football. I mean, they were crazy. Like, you couldn't touch them. They had the best record.
That was when the Raiders, they were playing top competition too.
They
would Monday nights.
They play Pittsburgh, they play Houston, they play all the really good teams back then as well. So yeah, that's what's going on in wrestling. I'm trying to look for some updates here. They were advertising Roman Reigns. Oh, wait a minute. I do have an update for the Crown Jewel pay-per-view on the 22nd. You ready?
Okay.
These are the matches that have been announced so far.
Okay.
Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley in a homicide match.
A homicide match, which is legal, by the way, there.
That's right. No, not only legal, encouraged. Are you kidding?
Legally.
That's a tough one, Bryant, for the Saudi Arabian crowd. Will they want to see the Jew die or the black guy? Very difficult. Very tough. We're not really sure how the Saudi Arabian crowd's going to. It could be
that's kind of like that Patriots Buccaneers game the other night.
Exactly. I don't know who I want to lose. They're going to vote inside the stadium. Oh, the Jew takes it on the chin. That's unfortunate. Well, it had to happen. We gave him a shot there. I'm okay with it. Give me another $1 million. Go ahead. I'm fine with it. If you want Heyman, you can have him too. I don't care. Throw in all the Jews. Are we going to go through the controversy again about women making this trip and shit like that? Because I don't think we are. I think that's already been settled, hasn't it? We already lost that war, didn't we?
It hasn't really been noted, so I'm assuming, yeah.
It's not. It's a non-starter.
Yeah, it's a.
If you want the check, you leave the bitches at home. Okay, that is all I have to say for today. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. Loser has to take that son Gage home. What? That's not the stipulation. No, it's a no holds barred match. Big E will take on Big D. Did you like it when he called himself Big D tonight?
That was pretty shifty there, old Drew.
I bet you do have a big D there, Mr. Subtle.
Mr. D.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
sure
what he calls it.
Either that or he's referring to Dallas. Wink, wink.
You want to meet Mr. D?
You guys, everybody in that writing staff, I don't know what your geek's name is. Write it down, make a note. Next time we're in Dallas, he's going to say, Big D is in the Big D. Write it down. Next time SmackDown comes to Dallas. All RK Bro against AJ Styles and Edward James Olmos. It is a tag team match for the Raw.
Edward James Olmos.
Well, I don't even know, man. When they bring Olmos over there, they're going to be scared shitless of him. I don't know. He could probably. He could probably.
Yeah, they will be.
I don't know. They could probably have like a photo op where he holds a couple of kids on his arms and shit, and he could probably make a lot of money.
Those kids will be like this.
If they fucking booked Almost for this thing and they think they're going to hold him hostage like they did that one, I mean, he's like, no, I don't think. I do not believe we'll be holding them hostage this time. I do not want the gigantic black man to kill me. Okay. You can go back to the United. You can go back to Infidel Land. Jesus. Yeah, I don't think they're going to try to keep him hostage in some fucking hotel room.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah, again, that is a tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Becky against Bianca versus Sasha. They are going to have women. Oh,
yeah. How about that?
Oh, this can end up very badly. Oh, I don't see. For a while, for a minute, the Saudis acted like they were going to play nice. They had that big, hey, it's our 2030 plan or whatever the fuck it was. We're going to modernize. We're going to let women have like a sip of beer once a decade. We're going to let them like read a book once a year if they want to. Now I don't think the Saudis are, as we say, not playing. So I have some, this match may be one of those that they record at the Performance Center and just show. And they try to like blur most of it in the stadium. Because I don't see how that's going to happen.
Didn't they have a women's match there? Didn't somebody hit the?
They did once, because they covered them from head to toe, and they looked like fucking Wonder Woman or something.
Yeah,
like it looked like the what is it? The Captain Marvel costume on Brie Larson or something. Everything was covered, and it was still like, making all the Saudi guys fairly rapey. So I don't see how that's going to happen. But if you're a producer with that company, I would like to see Bruce. I'd like to see Bruce Pritchard like try to throw himself in front of a marauding horde of people trying to come after those women. Good luck with that. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Brock Lesnar. Yep, it's another Hebrew to piss off the masses, as this is a singles match for that WWE Universal Championship. That is your lineup that's been announced so far for Crown Jewel, October the 26th. On Peacock, because it is Peacocktober, Bryant.
Is it now?
It is Peacocktober as opposed to Rocktober.
I am excited that Halloween is coming out on Peacock. That's pretty exciting. The Halloween Kills.
Yeah. Any other closing thoughts on another award-winning edition of Katie Vick is Alive?
I did see today. I don't know if you saw that. Superstar Bill Dundee is coming to WrestleCade, and I'm happy about that because I am making a point to go talk to that man this time. So
yeah, I think I'm going to get my picture made with that guy too.
Yeah, got to, man.
We'll tell him how much we miss his son-in-law too, and how we really got to talk to him. He was the greatest,
and his daughter, for God's sakes.
Yeah. We definitely got to. Yeah, we got to make a point of that for sure.
Yeah, and because I don't, every time I see somebody like him, I think about the Bobby Heenan thing when you and I were standing there going,
oh, yeah. It was a sad moment. And if they're somehow able to get Caudle out there, we got to talk to Bob Caudle again for sure.
Yeah, we got to.
Because time's running short, man.
We're
being reminded of that all the time, aren't we?
All the time, every fucking day, dude.
Bryant is followable on social media at Bryce Sports on Twitter and on Instagram, BRY Sports. He is on the TikTok, Stanley Jackson 23. I am on Twitter, Britt Whitmire, BRITTWHITMIRE. On Instagram, it's BDub for Reels, BDUB, 4 REELZ. And our show Twitter is at Katie Vick Alive. If you'd like to follow the Brad and Britt cast, which is my politics thing, which is 4 days a week, at Brad and Britt. And that is downloadable pretty much anywhere you get a podcast. So we certainly do appreciate all your support for that podcast and also for this podcast. And you can shop at our Amazon store, which is katievick.com. That's katievick.com. Until next time, fans, we'll see you ringside.